Well, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday Labor Day weekend, so happy Labor Day weekend. I'm gonna do a little labor today. Looks like neighbor Carl's got the Cub Cadet out over there. I think that's a 1650, maybe 1450. I can't remember. Anyway, he's out running it around. I'm gonna do some work on the A4T I brought home. For those that don't know, one of my passions in my lifetime has always been motorcycles, but had this 1991 Ducati 900 SS for a long time. Just rode it to church this morning and decided to wash it. Don't ride it as much as I would like to, but first year for this model, only year for the white wheels, white frame. I love riding it, although my body lets me know that I'm a little older and it's not as comfortable as I used to think it was. But anyway, just something else, another passion that I've had in my lifetime that I refuse to let go of. But we're going to do some work on the A4T today to prep it to move inside once we get the motor in it. And so I'll get to that here in a second. Be a little more fair to the Ducati. I hadn't dried it off yet when I just showed it, but oh, I love that red paint. Same red paint Ferrari used. The Ducati factory and the Ferrari factory are right down the road from each other, and they use the same red paint. And this fell in love with this bike back in 1991. Didn't get it until about 1998, but yeah, I still love it. All right, so one of the things I'm going to probably end up doing today is I'm going to clean up the old gasket off of this here on the back, this cover where the seal is going to go. I don't have the seals in the gasket yet, but I can get that cleaned up, and then that will be done. And so what I think I'm going to do is take the gas tank off, fuel tank, not gas, diesel. Take the diesel tank off, and basically 4 bolts on each side, because I'm going to take the plate that's on there also. This, I think, pretty much leaked out since I got it, so I can maybe fill it up with some water today, see where my leaks are, mark them, and then take it to Spencer so that he can fix that. But I want to take the plate out that's in underneath it, because that will then expose what's under there, and if it's still real dirty, which I think it's going to be, then I can hot water pressure wash that while it's still going to be out here in the sun, because we got some good warm sun coming the next few days, and that can be cleaned before I move it in the barn. So 2 birds with 1 stone. Get the fuel tank out, clean up underneath it. All right, I'm going to get the jet star. I'm going to get a couple straps, and I think I'm going to have to come in from the side here, put the straps around and lift it up, and then bring it out this way. I don't think I can come over the back, because I don't think the bucket on the jet, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go from the side. I think with all this stuff in the way, I don't think I can get close enough to maybe I can maybe straddle the 3-point arms with the front tires. I'll have to check it out and see. All right, got my 8 bolts out, got 2 straps around it. I don't know how centered I really am on those, but got a chain up to the bucket of the jet. We'll just see how this goes. I'm gonna try to set you guys up here so you can watch it. checked, I had to strap underneath the steel line. So now I gotta deal with that. See it there? Pull that steel line up. Hopefully I can bend it back down after I get the strap out of it, but let me deal with that real quick. Out, and I don't think that shouldn't be too hard to fix, but you can see all the crap that I'm going to need to blow out from underneath here, which I experienced on the other one. But this time I'm going to put a tarp down underneath it when I do that, because I spent a night this week picking up clumps of crap off the ground so I don't step in it and drag it around for the next year and a half. But there's my tank. I'm going to move it over by the front of the barn, and then I'll separate the tank from the bottom and get our first look at where our hole might be. Alright, I separated it out. And from what I can see is there's a lot of mud that was caked down in there. And I'm going to guess that held moisture the way this paint is coming off. Probably my best bet is to power wash the bottom of this, then put water in it, then see where my leak is, or leaks. I'm gonna guess, since this is wet in this area, that might be one of them. It's hard to say. So, but I don't know. Probably too early to tell how bad this is. And you can see in this half here, you can see just the mud caked up in there, dirt, you know, and then you can tell where it's been dripping diesel out. So at least it's off. And now that this is all the way off, I'm gonna look at this one again back here, but yeah, there's a lot of, I actually might be able to use the scraper and throw some of that stuff right in the trash and not power wash it all off. But I still want to get it cleaner in here. It's just easier to work on when this is more clean. And like I said, I'll get that line bent back where it needs to be. All right, I'm going to employ some wisdom here in my planning of my day. I'm not going to get the power washer out today because that means I got to suit up and I got to do a lot of sweating. And it is warm today, although it's cooled down significantly from the 98, 99 degrees it was this week. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to load the 1355 on the gooseneck and take it over to Oliver Phil and get it out of my way, because next weekend I want to go down to Wilmington, Ohio. They're having a show down there featuring Moline, and the Mayer family will have their collection there, and I want to go down for Saturday and see them, see the Molines that are there, and probably take the 302 propane down and display it. But it'll just help me get this out of the way. So I'm going to go hook up the truck to the trailer, think a minute about how I'm going to load this on there the easiest way, and then go from there. All right, I think I got the trailer in place so we can winch it straight up on. I didn't use the truck because that's I used the jet. I used the trailer mover on the jet because I think that's the easier route to go to get the trailer kind of set where I need it to be set. As far as square, so we have to do the least amount of turning on the front tires as possible, we can turn it with the spud bar that's angled there. But now I need to get the truck hooked up, and then we'll start winching that up on. All right, got the winch hooked up to the chain. I got a strap around the front axle. I'm just going to slowly bring it up on. I think neighbor Carl's going to come over and help in a minute, but I'm going to try to get this started before he heads over. So I'm going to winch it up just a little more right now, just see how this goes. Alright, I'm going to straighten up this wheel a little. So far so good, although I do think I need to turn this just a little bit more. Maybe not that much, but take it up just a little bit and I'll straighten it back up. I might have to use a snatch block on this because my winch is not the best in the world. I've meant to change it and I haven't yet. Alright, neighbor Carl came over. He's going to push with the Jetstar. He's behind, and I'm going to pull with the winch. 3-point with the bucket. All right, a couple more readjustments. I set a block there so it doesn't roll too far forward. But I had a block set up underneath the back because this is so heavy. The dang block slipped out, so the ramp slipped up. So now we got to use the push bar. So just every little, this thing is just, it's unbelievable how heavy that rear end is. All right, we're gonna pull it up here a little bit more. All right, we got her up on. Neighbor Carl helped, but right when we ran out of winch, we actually hand pushed it like the last 6 inches, which was a real pain. But we got her up on there, used the jet, and at the end the push bar because the ramps were flipping up. Now I'm going to chain her down and we'll go deliver to Oliver Phil. Made it over to Phil's. He's around here someplace. I know he's been working on stuff. He's got the service truck there. He's got the cock shut out. Semi over there. So I know he's around here doing something. Oh, he's over at the Quonset. I'll go grab him. Phil's not playing around. He brought out the 2150, better known as Steve. I gotta put the bar on it here. All right, we're gonna see if she'll stay straight, and if not, we got a spud bar up here to help. So far, so good. Nice, and she's on the ground. Figured out the tires are loaded, so we're gonna shove her out in the field over here to take care of that issue. All right, got the 1355 unloaded, and just wanted to show. So if you remember, I did some sandblasting, whatever, and then my buddy Rob painted hoods on his welder and did them in Oliver green, and Phil put the decals on it and made it look like a Oliver hood, which looks really good. Looks very cool. You can see now he's got everything loaded up in the for service truck, if you watch my previous videos when he was working on this. And then we were just looking over Steve. He'd put new tires on the front, and he'd gone through the bearings and the pivot point and everything on this. This tractor had been used a lot, but anyway, he was just showing me all the work he'd done on the front end of this, but it's much better than it was. He did a bunch of work to the 3-point area also. He said these tabs were gone, so we welded on new tabs and made everything here the right pins instead of bolts, and got everything back here the way that it should be, which is basically a very similar rear end to the 1355, if not the same rear end. So pretty cool, but I just thought that was neat to see how the welder turned out. I think that looks awesome. All right, well, I got interrupted this weekend. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to get done, but nice surprise when I got home today. I got a little package here from Dean Zingray. He hooked me up. He just sent this out Friday night, or Saturday, I guess he would have. So I got the new filter here to go in the filter housing for the 950. So I'll get that put in here in a little bit. And then I'm going to go out and start cleaning on the back of the A4T that I didn't get done this weekend. All right, I scraped a bunch more stuff off in here. I don't know if you can see it, but definitely got a lot of the caked on stuff as much as I could. I'm gonna get the hot water pressure washer and see how much just fell down on the tarp I laid out, and I scraped off the bottom of the fuel tank, the bottom of the fuel tank tray. Took two big dustpan trays full of crap that I was able to pick up and threw in the trash. So I'm gonna get the power washer out, and we're gonna see what we can do to clean this stuff up. Well, got that done. It's still dripping, but much cleaner than it was. Got down to kind of where now it's going to be not so bad to work on things. But one thing I discovered is I'm pretty sure that that crack is not supposed to be there. I mean, I'm more than pretty sure, I'm positive sure, and that was covered up with grease, which would explain, if there's a crack in that, why there would be a lot of oil on everything. So I don't know how that would happen, but it happened. So now I gotta find one of those. Housing maybe, or I don't know. It's kind of disappointing. But other than that, at least, you know, this was all gummed up. That's clean. Walk around the other side. But there you can see that's much more clean than it was. Everything's cleaner, and like I said, there's some left up in that corner, but I'll be able to scrape that out. That's all loose now. So that's done, but man, that's a bummer that that's cracked. Oh, crap. Well, we don't do this because it's easy, right? So I think it's probably going to be about it for this video. I did power wash off the tank and the tray, and I will fill this up with some water and see if I can see where my leak is, and we'll go from there. But I really appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully you're learning as I am going along with this new project. Soon as I get the gaskets I need from Wendell, then I can we can work on the motor. But next weekend I'm going down to Wilmington, Ohio to the show down there featuring Minneapolis, Moline. Do that Saturday. I'll make a video of that, and then we're going into fair here, and hopefully my real job doesn't mess me up. I should have done all of this yesterday, except I got called into the real job and didn't get home till late last night. So we'll see how it goes, but I would like to get the motor in sooner than later, and then get this thing shoved back in the corner, and then it can rest there until spring. So please like and subscribe. You make comments if you got comments for me. If you see anything I'm doing that you don't understand, or you think I could do it better, I'm all ears, because I'm no expert. I just don't even play one on YouTube. So we'll see you next weekend at the show down there, and yeah, get this thing next part of this project will be coming.